Now, in part 4 of this, the reason for bejazzling this small stellated dodecahedron, sorry about the words, but they are necessary, really. The way that you learn about this is learning the words, and that's what it is. So that I was feeding my head so that I could background process how I'm going to construct it, and the idea came to me today that I had everything I need. The star itself gives me everything I need to construct it. I'll come on to this bad gluing up in a minute. So what I'm doing, I've put a small elastic, what they call loom band, over one of the points, and then the next star along comes into that loop, and that pulls it right into place. It's very difficult, but eventually you can get, these will be full stars obviously, and I've just learnt something doing this, which I'll just say in a minute. Well, a few things. Let's do the glue up first. Trying to just glue these together and get the good point, you make tiny mistakes and they add up, and you get things like that big ugly joint there, and it's not right. That won't glue together into the shape. And the same with the stars. There'll be 12 of these, and this you can construct from 12 of these. You don't need to do individual construction. So the reason for that gap there is that, like, possibly a fraction of a degree out on the sanding. So I've got a solution to that. I'm going to build a thing with two little fences to sand the angle to exactly the right angle. That's important. This one glued up right, so the error is tiny, you know, it's just tiny errors. So this is one where I've loom banded 5 points which represent 5 stars. But this is, I've gone wrong, in fact, and that's something I've learned in doing this, is that star there, the one you can see flat, has got the wrong chirality. I should have turned it upside down and gone that way compared to the others, and then that one, yeah, that one would go over because that arm would be the other way, and those tips would match up there. So I've learnt something there, that that and that all have to be in the same plane when this is flipped upside down. I'm not going to do that on camera because it took me about 20 minutes and there's a lot of swearing. I don't like swearing on camera particularly, but you can see that also that this brings the points together really nice for the glue up. That gives me a good point. There's tiny error, but nothing that can't be sanded out when it's all glued up. So that there should have been like so. So if you can see the difference there, these arms are swinging this way and those arms are swinging that way. So that one's pointing anti-clockwise and this one's pointing clockwise, if you consider the curve as being the pointing mechanism. Right, so that's my plan. I'm now going to go ahead. I've got enough of this in my head now. That feed my head session paid off, and this idea of just using the loom bands, it's going to be really stressful doing this, putting all 12 of these stars and not collapsing the points, you know, and getting everything right. I've got a little bit of a technique. There may be a technique that I find in amongst it. And one more thing, I will be doing a second version of this for sure, because I'm going to do the other way of doing the German wheel, which is you work between 2 points, so you cut out this whole curve, and that will allow me to do these as one piece of wood. It will have to be ply because otherwise it's just going to break. it'll be birch plywood, but that will allow me to also put a little bit of piercing in the centre, and that should open up the shape and be a bit of a nice variation on the shape and a variation on the method. So that will be coming. Thanks for watching.